African, I'm a mother, and I'm raising a new breed of leaders for the African future. Hello, African mama. How are you? Whatever time of the day you are joining in, it's good afternoon, good evening, good morning to you. You're welcome again to the A.R.A.L show, where A.R.A.L means Afri-Moms Raising African Leaders. I am Zoe Octavia Obaze. It's the A.R.A.L show again, and like you know, I'm never alone. There's always the steady and steady Somi. Hi, Somi.
Hello, everyone. Hello, Africa. Yes, this is the A.R.A.L show. Of course, we call it the A.R.A.L show. And like Zoe said, we're just African mothers doing our bit to make sure that the future is bright, the future is healthy, and the future is palatable for everyone, even though we may or may not be there. So, yes, welcome once again to another refreshing, exciting episode of the A.R.A.L show. Zoe is the nice one. Sometimes I'm the not so nice one. So that's why I'm going to hound you again. I hope you have subscribed to our YouTube page. You might likely see me in your dreams if you haven't. so do well to subscribe. Don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to share. Our guest, like, I can't wait to hear her talk, because the topic is a very, very, very interesting one. We're going to be talking about the girl child. I think severally on this show, Zoe, we've talked about the boy child, right? So it's for a change, so that it won't look like because Zoe and I are boys mom, we're always talking about boys, boys, boys. Nah, we are here for gender equity. So today we're going to be talking about the girl child. Don't forget, subscribe. Please subscribe to our page. It won't cost you nothing to just click the subscribe button, and don't forget to turn on the notification bell so that you get notified when we go on shows like this. So over to you, Zoe.
Thank you, Somi. Is the African girl child endangered? If yes, are we taking sufficient steps to protect her? Today's topic is shielding the girl child from abuse in a broken world. Shielding the girl child from abuse in a broken world. And we have a guest.
Drum roll!
She's Mrs. Adako Uwanukwe. Like she says she's just a child of God, a loved child of God who is happily married with 2 amazing children. She works as a virtual assistant and owns a company called Virtual Assistants by A.R.A.L. And she also owns a fashion brand, Style Factory by A.R.A.L. She loves to eat food. But when you see her, you will question that. And I will not tell you why. And she says that she never says no to a good nap. So you see, for her to come out today in such a cozy weather is all for love. Because this would have been a very fantastic time to nap. So she's the founder of Paddy Top, a social impact initiative dedicated to promoting menstrual health, dignity, and education. She's driven by a passion for equity and a commitment to breaking the stigma around periods. She launched Paddy Top to ensure that access to menstrual products and accurate information is a right to the African girl child and not just a privilege. She strives through her advocacy, outreach, and her community programs, she strives to empower individuals, especially young girls, with the tools and the confidence to manage their menstrual health safely and with pride. Ladies, mothers, women in Africa, please join me as we welcome our guest.
Thank you very much. It's great to be here.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me. Thank you so much.
Why do I feel like starting with you? So you like food, really?
Let's not go there.
Okay, we will.
We should go there.
Should we
Because
go there?
I really want to know how you do it. You know, there's some people who like
soft
food
spot
so much, and yet it seems that they are just too loved by God, because you wonder where the food is going. And there are some people, just the smell of food, and you're looking rotund like
I have a
So-
friend who used to say that me, if I just smell food, I've added 10 kg. But that, she will eat like an elephant and still look like an ant. And I'm like, I don't know how. Maybe good
Blessing in
genes.
disguise.
Yeah,
Oh,
Mommy,
right.
daddy, I
Oh,
guess.
your mom is slender.
Yeah, daddy too. So I guess it's in the genes.
Oh.
Binibi.
Oh,
Yoruba people say it.
right, right.
So you see, if you're like me, that just don't beat yourself.
Stay in the gym, guys. Just stay in the gym.
Stay true to your gene. In fact, what you have just said leads to the very first question. So I like the silence. So what exactly is it about the girl child and you and Ada's life and Ada now and the girl child? What is it really? Why are you carrying the matter on your head, like we say?
Because we are this segregated gender.
Please say that again.
We are this segregated gender.
I
Because
would want to hear more about that.
we're the most powerful gender, but somehow people think we're the weakest link. Yes, people think that the girl child, the female gender, is the weakest link. But everything about the girl child stemmed from my childhood. Everything that brought about Project Paddy Talk
Yes, please.
and everything I do to mentor, because I don't just do mental hygiene or all of that. I also do mentorship. I mentor young girls. So everything that I have done came from the lack of it from my childhood. I didn't have the basics when it comes to being mentored, being talked to, being guided. I didn't have it as a young child growing up. And so when I became a teenager myself, I also lacked it. So when I became an adult, I thought, young girls don't need to go through this. Young girls don't need to be left alone. Young girls need their hands to be held every single day of their life. Young girls need to be covered. There was a lot of things that happened to me growing up that made me realize that there was no covering. If there was a covering, then it wouldn't have been. So that was what brought me to carrying the girl child matter on my head. Girls need to be covered. Girls need to be covered.
Okay, so when you say as in, will I say I like, or I'll say that word jumped at me, segregated gender. And I want to know, has that always been your mindset? And do you think that's still the case as of today? Considering all the work that has been done so far by all the phenomenal people that has been advocating for the girl child, and the progress so far that has been made in seeing that the girl child become recognized than they used to be in those days. So would you say that they still fall under that term, segregated gender?
Yes, I do. I still believe so. I mean, it's 2025 and we still hear stories of segregation from women. You would hear a woman say, "Oh, in my office, the man is being paid more than me." It's still happening now.
Okay.
You would hear a woman say, "Oh, because I am a woman, they treated me this way." So yes, there is progress, no doubt, like you mentioned. There's a lot of progress. We are way better off than where our mothers were. We're way further ahead than where we are coming from. But change is the only constant thing in life, and it's progressive. It happens. There was something brilliant that Zoe said to me when I asked her what the inspiration was behind this show. And I like how she said that we're Afri moms who are raising children and we need to raise them to do better. So it's a work in progress. So this segregation is still happening. It is still happening. But while moms out there are trying to raise better children, there are still moms who don't know any better, unfortunately. So yeah, it's a work
That's
in
why
progress.
we're here at the A.R.A.L
Yeah.
show.
So I think so me, I think we should pick up from what she just said. So the moms who don't know better, what ways do you think they're endangering their girls?
Oh
I
my
mean,
God.
off the top of your head.
Ah, man, I think they're endangering their girls in so many ways, because if you don't know, you don't know. And it's not your fault that you don't know, you know. Ignorance is bliss. Sometimes these moms do these things out of ignorance. Um, I'll give an example.
Yes,
You
please.
have a girl child and you have male relatives around the house. It's common in the Igbo homes where you have apprentices that live with you in your
Yes.
house, tons of them. Some
Yes.
people have as many as between 7 to 10 guys living with them. They probably put them in their boys' quarter or something. Now there's a mom who also has a female child in the house, and she thinks, oh, because these boys are, or these men are from my husband's place, they're relatives, they don't mean any harm. That's her ignorance, you know. And she doesn't know any better. Like I said, if you don't know, you don't know. Now she's just been, working. She's just working with her emotions. They're family, so they can't do any harm. Do you understand? But we've seen and heard over time that they are even the ones who are even of more danger to your children,
Okay.
than outsiders. Yes, we've seen and heard these things too many times, and so that's what I mean. When I say some moms don't know any better. That's just an example that I
Do
can
you mind
cite.
sharing another? Because when I heard you say, I mean, the way you exclaimed, I could feel like there's so much that already
Uh,
rushes at you.
Okay, off the top of my head, I mean, again, it could be a community that a mom trusts in. I'm not saying trust is bad, but
Yes.
trust can be broken. We're all humans. We have our flaws. We have our flaws. So I think the first thing any mom should know, and know 100%, not 99.9%, is that trust can be broken, and we are infallible as humans. So whatever you may think, oh, this is my community, I think just have it at the back of your mind that anything else can go wrong. We are human, and it's not anybody's fault. It's just flesh. It's just how we were built. Again, trust can be broken. Don't keep it to your chest too tight. That's
Okay.
just it. That's the word.
Okay.
Trust can be broken.
So, this is a very, very deep topic. And for me, it's quite triggering because for some reason, I had a conversation around this with someone in church on Sunday. So when Zoe sent me the topic, I was like, okay, maybe there's just something about this because she was telling me that they have a case. She's a nurse.
Okay.
That they have a case they are currently dealing with. A father has been sleeping with his 3 daughters. So now you said trust can be broken, and the question is, how do you deal with, because I don't know, I'm just trying to imagine if I had a girl child and I'm so weary around my husband with my girl child. Like, is that even a situation I want to find myself, where even my husband is a likely suspect? Do you understand that kind of, where even a child's father is a likely suspect of molestation to his own child? As in, how do you, so you as a mother, and also let's not dispute the fact that there have been also cases of mothers who have molested their sons. So, like, it's just a lot to wrap up. And the truth is, as much as we want to exclaim, oh, why is this? I think it's just the whole digital era and social media era that is making these issues more pronounced
Yes.
and more regular. I feel it has always been in occurrence. So have you ever dealt with such situation? And when you say trust can be broken, that was the first thing that jumped at me again. I'm like, what that means is that this father has broken his wife's trust. He has broken his daughter's trust. So at what point, like, how else can a mother, of course, as much as we are not trying to parent our children as Afri moms in isolation, we understand the place of our husbands, the fathers, and all those stuff. But then, where do you now draw the line? Where you want to protect yourself, your daughter, but even the father is a likely suspect.
I don't want to say the father is a likely suspect.
No, but I'm just saying based
Okay.
on these cases, and we've had one too many of such cases where a father molests his daughters or daughters.
I think the first thing is moms, speak to your daughters. have them comfortable enough to sit with you and say whatever it is with you. I'm not saying that you should start asking your daughter, is your father touching you? No. So just have her comfortable enough to be able to share whatever it is with you. And I'm not saying that as a mom, you should have your husband be a suspect. No, I have a daughter, I have a husband as well. And I mean, by the grace of God, we agreed to do parenting alone, no external help. And so my husband always assists me with everything with the children, you know. So I think that, so personally, I'm raising my daughter to say everything and anything to me. Same with my boy as well. But because he's a baby, he's not going to be in this conversation a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm raising my daughter to say a lot of things to me, to be very comfortable. So I think that's what every mom should do. Raise your daughters to be extremely comfortable around you, to be extremely open to you. And I think it starts with the basic training. One thing I've started teaching my daughter, she'll be 4 this year. One thing she knows about her body is bad touch and good touch. My daughter knows where she's supposed to be touched and where she's not supposed to be touched. She knows it. When I started training her, I thought she didn't, until recently she started saying it to me. She was saying it to her dad one day and I overheard, and I was like, oh my God, she's listening. So I think when you begin to bring them up early enough in your space, make them very comfortable. I don't think that you would have any issue of them not opening up to you when any stranger or even friend begins to show signs of predatory signs when anything, you know, is going to happen.
Thank you so much. So I hope you know that you just zipped. I don't know what like you gave me.
Another box.
I'm telling you, like that was a below the belt blow. But like they say, there's nothing new under the sun, and some things are horribly familiar. They've happened. They are yet happening, and they will yet happen. It's just horrible. However, there are exceptions, because there are fathers whose wives pass on and they carry on and they raise brilliant ladies who are well-rounded. There are fathers who go the extra mile to protect their wives and their daughters. Some have no sons and they are examples to their daughters. Their daughters, in fact, pray night and day to marry a man just like their father. And here we want to believe that, at least for the 3 of us to start with, we believe that our husbands are those kind of men. You know, we might not, Somi and I might not have daughters, or should I say, Somi doesn't have a daughter yet, but
I don't understand.
There's a number.
Number one. She's the next in line. So don't play that kind of play.
Focus, baby girl, focus. So, okay, so, you know, there might not be daughters right now, but one thing we know is that our husbands...
Zoe, why do I feel you're prophesying into your future?
Receive. Just receive.
Okay, Afrimos. Okay, so we want to use this avenue to say that to our husbands that we see you and we see that you are willing to work with us, and we appreciate your sacrifices. We appreciate how far you have come with us. And for every Afri dad out there who is a part of this show right now, thank you, especially for those of you who are honest with us. You know, you are not giving a face at home and then you are something else when we are not there. We want to say thank you.
Shout out to my husband.
Yes,
Hi,
please.
Oh.
This is how Afri moms have been doing. They'll come to our show and be using it to do Valentine's something. And that's how one's husband calls. I just want to say she's beautiful.
She's beautiful. Imagine.
By the way, you can call in, please. And the number to call. In fact, tell him you can call,
please. You can call in. The number to call is 080-9573-3330. So yes, we're having fun while at it, because you know it can get really tense, because the topic we're addressing is a very sensitive one. But we want to hear from you. What are your thoughts? Oh, okay. Why do I have a feeling that somebody knows who this person is? Alrighty. Hello.
He's a mom.
He's a mom.
Hi.
Good afternoon. Please, what's your name and where are you calling in from? Iyabode Adeponju. All right.
How are you doing,
What?
Zoe?
We are good. We
We're
are very
good.
fine. Thank you for calling in.
Zoe.
We're doing very well. Thank you so much for calling in.
Thank you too. Thank you very much.
Yeah, so we would like to hear your thoughts on the topic of today. What do you think?
How
As in, how do you think
we can
we can
protect
protect our
our
girl
girls
child
from abuse.
from abuse?
Firstly, I would like to commend Miss Ada. Mrs. Ada. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma.
Please,
Thank you, ma.
keep my heart little so much.
Aw, thank you, ma.
Wait, trust can be broken. My mind was just doing bish bish. Nobody to break my trust.
What is English?
Thank you for enlightening us.
You're welcome, ma.
I have a
You're
girl
welcome.
child, like
Mm.
about to be 8 years old. She's 7 years old rather.
Oh, okay.
So I I I'm always careful of what I what I tell her, and I'm bringing her up also to be able to, or I'm trying to gain her trust
Trust.
so that and be able to open up to me to tell me things about her. For instance, this morning,
Yeah.
she told me that she wants to addish her food. All of a sudden, she said she's not eating it, like she's not ready to eat. She slept. I hope I'm not deviating from.
No, no,
no,
no, no,
not
no,
at all.
please.
Okay, so she just lie down on the couch.
Okay.
I was trying to tell her, kilo share, because my daughter that I knew, immediately the food was on the table, she started eating.
Yeah.
Kilo share, are you okay? And she's saying that she don't just want to eat. So I was really thinking about, okay, how am I going to tell you? I know why she did not grab it immediately.
Yeah.
Continue pressing her to, okay, why are you not eating? One time I just had to shout at her that, can you just take it to I'll take it back to the kitchen. Do you understand? So later she let her eat the food. But while watching this show today, I found I heard Mrs. Adati, her 4 years old daughter, that she has already talking to her, training her to trust her, to be able to tell her things. I'm really challenged, and I still need to do better. I still need to know what's going on in my daughter's life more. So
Yeah.
thank you so much, Afrina.
Thank
You are
you.
helping us a lot. Thank you. We appreciate it.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so
It's people
much.
like you that keep us going. Thank,
Thank you
you
very
so
much.
much. We're glad that our guests was able to, make you have a rethink and reevaluate your relationship with your daughter.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank
Thanks
you so
for calling.
Yeah, bye.
Much. Bye.
Wow.
Wow.
So, do you have anything to say particularly to her? So, if you were her, what would you? So fast forward. Your daughter is 7. She usually likes food, like mama. But this she actually likes food.
Yeah.
And then you just realize that she's not eating today. What would you do typically?
So I'll speak generally, not just from this example she just cited. It's never too late to start talking to your girls. It's never too late to start. If your girl is 13 and you never had that relationship, and it's never too late to start. So now to that, typically I think she already said, oh, I would speak to her to find out why. I think that's the best first step thing to do. Talking is not underrated, or it's not overrated, whichever way you want to see it. Yes, you should talk to her. You should ask her, what's going on? What happened yesterday? What happened 2 minutes ago? Why aren't you? This is not who you are. What is going on? And I mean, we know how, this is the age when they're 7, they're exceptionally,
Unique.
like the weather, So talk. Yeah, just talk. I think talking is.
So
is,
how do
is
you
great.
deal with a child that doesn't like to talk? And it's not because it's not because the child is not how will I put it?
Expressive.
No, but you know, just like it's just a personality thing. You know, there are people that they don't just have that strength to talk.
Hey.
So
yeah.
how do you get such a child to say something? Because as she was speaking, I'm trying to picture my 8-year-old. And I know that sometimes he can be like that. Like he's just not in the mood to talk. You didn't do anything, but you just say nothing. You know, there's probably something, but he's just not in the mood to talk.
No, he will talk. Oh. If he's not in the mood,
The African mother.
he will talk.
The way you said it, I saw with slippers. What?
I know,
You will
no.
not talk.
Violence. I mean,
You needed to see your face. You will talk.
you have to talk. I mean, you may not be in the mood at that moment, and I will leave you at that moment.
Yeah,
you know,
right.
I will give you your space, but I will not give you your space for too long.
Right.
And that's what I think that, and now this is me speaking from experience, because I have my older brother, my immediate older brother, is that he has that personality. He doesn't talk that much. I think that over time, my mom and I always have conversations about us, her kids. So one of the things I know that my mom said was, oh, he has always been like that when he was small. I used to leave him and he would just be there and I would just go and come back. I never worry. And I was like, oh, mommy, you didn't think that there was something wrong? She was like, no, I don't think. And I'm like, no, I think there was something wrong. So if my mom had talked, I don't think he would have grown with that personality. So I've been nipped in the bud somewhere. So I think he will talk. Oh.
So do
He
you
will
think
talk.
he's a bad person?
And I don't like to say, sorry to
Yeah.
cut you. I don't like to say, oh, there must be somebody that they talk to. So because people say that there is that one person that they would talk to. No, I don't say that. Your child should talk to you and you alone. I don't subscribe
You
to
alone?
Yes.
Or
yes.
you majorly?
Okay, there's a dad in the picture,
No,
right?
I
Okay,
get.
so.
I took
No,
you as
parents.
parents.
Oh yeah, parents.
So do you mean?
So,
do you
I
mean
mean
that?
parents.
Do you
Yes,
mean
that's
that?
what I mean,
Do you
yes.
mean you and you alone?
No, I mean your child should speak to her or his parents alone. Yes.
You meant that?
Yes. Yes.
So you are the mentor, and my child shouldn't speak with you.
Your child should speak with me, but after they've spoken to you. Yes. Yes. I think coming out anything that is coming.
Is there an age limit to this? Because what I'm hearing is really at a certain age, and it might be a personal opinion. I guess what she's trying to say, when they are younger, my children does not have any business telling any other person anything except me. Maybe as they become older and begin to have a mind of their own, let's say that teenage age and something, they might begin to have other influences. But then I would like to remain a major influence in the life of my child.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say. Now, as someone who mentors girls, I speak to girls. There's some things I hear and I'm like, does your mommy know? Does your daddy know? And they're like, no, they don't know. Why? They should know. Before you come to me, they should know. So, like you said, when they become adults, yes, there should be, they now have a mind of their own. They can decide to have external influences. That's fine. But yes, I should be a major stakeholder.
All through.
Yes. Yes. And I'm speaking from personal experience. So I would give an example. Now, my son, when he's sleeping and I go to wake him up, or his father goes to wake him up, he will not answer. This boy will just act like he's not hearing you. But once his sister just goes and she says, Kaka, wake up, this boy will just get up with a smiling face, you know. So I remember that there was a day I told my husband, I said, well, he's a baby, he will grow out of this thing, because he cannot tell me that I will talk to him and he will not listen to. And we just cracked a joke about it. Do you understand? So what I'm trying to say is that as kids, you should be that major influence. As adults, you should also be a major influence in the lives of your children. It's possible. It's not impossible. It's possible. It's very possible. And like I said, I'm saying this because I've gone around, I've spoken to girls, I hear things. And when I hear these things and I'm like, and even when they say, even when it's not things that are that deep, even when it's simple things like, oh, I want to do this when I grow up, I always ask them, does your mom know? Does your dad know? I always ask. Your parents have to know. They have to. They just have to.
So it feels like fireworks going on in my head because it's triggering a lot of questions. But I'll try to, stick with the
Streamline.
plan.
I mean, I'm not
Exactly.
saying you should be an helicopter parent. No, that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that, you hover around your child all the time. Oh, what are they doing? No, there are ways. There are ways to these things. There are ways to these things. There are different ways, but majorly, you should be a major influence. I I grew up listening to different people, both on TV and both in person. As a matter of fact, I used to wish that the TV people I could see them in person, so that they can talk to me and tell me things that I wanted to hear. And that was because my parents were present, but they were not present. I mean, why would I have parents in the house and I'm wishing that this person I'm seeing on TV, oh, she's so lovely, she's so this. I think I wish I want her. Why? So that's the angle I'm coming from.
Yes, and,
Yeah.
and to be honest, that's exactly where the fireworks were firing towards, because this is it. I think that the girls who speak with you, they feel comfortable speaking with you.
Oh, yes.
And the reason they are not speaking with mommy is perhaps mommy
There's
is
no
present but
enabling.
not present, or there's
Exactly.
no connection.
Exactly.
So
Yes.
it then leads to something else you said when you were much younger. The people on the TV, they felt more real to you. They felt like people who they got me.
Oh, yeah.
Felt like people you
Yeah.
could understand,
Yeah.
and So this leads to a question. So currently, I mean, this is how many years from when you were a child. So now the people on the TV, that a girl somewhere who is perhaps having parents who are present or not even present completely at all, some of them are looking at the TV, some are looking at the internet, and the people who they seem to be connecting are fractured people with sorry examples. So how do you then raise, when I say you now, I think we should start with saying at least we the African moms whose children are really tiny for now, or those who we have agreed that we probably have not done so well prior to now, but like you said, we want to see if we can damage control. How do you raise a well-rounded child who is surrounded by fractured examples, fractured voices, that kind of a thing?
It starts with you. Everything begins with you.
You as the mother.
Yes, you as the mother. The child wants to see you. The child wants to know you. Many parents don't know that the first example their child sees them, and a child, especially girls, we crave a lot to be like our moms. A lot.
Do they know?
They
Sorry.
don't know. They don't know. Our moms don't know this. My mom didn't know for the longest time that I loved red lipstick because of how it always looked on her. My mom is very dark skin. She always used to wear red lipstick a lot when I was growing up, and I loved it. My mom didn't know that. So
We'll have another caller.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
We should
we'll
take
pick
the
up
call,
from
right?
here.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Hello. that
Whose
is
child is
always
this?
that is always
wow.
constituent.
Wow.
Thank you.
That's always constituent. I
Thank
can hear their voices.
Oh my
so
God.
sweet.
Thank you so.
Shout out to Daddy.
Hi.
Oh my
We
God.
know Daddy is behind this. Say hello to him for us. Yes.
You are watching us where we are. Thank you so much. Thank you, Dausa. Thank you, Kwamosa. Oh my God. This is my joy tears out of my eyes. Thank you so much, Dal. I'm so grateful. Thank you.
So this guy can cry like this. Oh, I need to buy this boy something. You finally humbled this.
As in,
Oh my goodness.
oh,
What you-
oh my God.
Oh my. Thank you. Okay.
Alright.
Don't lose your train of thoughts.
Yes, I was. You were speaking.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
So I was saying it begins
Red
with
lipstick,
you as
yeah.
a parent,
Yeah, you said
a
your
dad,
dad, yeah.
a mom. It begins with you.
Yeah.
That girl, that boy, they are looking up to you. They are watching what you do. And they need that reassurance at every point in time. You need to let them know. You need to show them, yes, I am here. Yes, this is who I embody.
Yeah.
And this is what you embody as my child. So this is who you are. You need to always constantly remind them of who they are. They are seeing their lives through your lens. So that progressive talk that you have with them, it begins with you. That's what your everything, your aura, your character, your everything is what the child is. So
Mr. Da, thank you. So I don't know if perhaps I'm not putting. So I thank you very much. But there's still a concern I have. So our children, they have access to the internet. There's TV. The songs, the people who are in the movie industry, a number of them they are fractured. Are you saying? I just want you to be able to tell the Afri mom. Are you saying that we have more power to influence our daughters,
Of course.
beyond those fractured examples?
Of course, you do. I mean, first of all, you have the power to cut off the internet.
Bam. As an African mother that you are.
You have the power to take away the tablet or the phone. You have all the power as the mom. So wield it. Your strength it's in you. Wield it. Don't leave your child to teach you how to raise them. You teach your child how they should be raised according to the template. I'm a believer, so I have a template. I speak words of affirmation to my children every given day when I'm giving them a bath, when I'm walking my daughter to school. So my daughter's school is right there in my estate. It's a walking distance to my house, about a 5-minute walk to my house. So I make sure we walk to school every morning. As we're walking, we're talking. I'm affirming, I'm saying things. So as a mom, what's your template? What's the manual? What are you using to raise your child? Every mom should have a manual. Every mom should have a manual. You should have a template. If your template is not the Bible, then what is your template? Because if you don't have a template, then the internet is a template for your child. The internet will raise your child. Whatever your child is watching, your child will bring all of their, because now it's the boy and the girl in general, they will bring all of their being will be centered around what they are seeing and who they are seeing and what they are hearing and who they are hearing from. So whose voice do they hear first? Is it their dad's voice or is it your voice? The child has to hear one of you's voice first before anything else or anyone else.
Yeah. So I think I align with what she said. You see, helplessness is not something you should. It's not a position you want to find yourself as a parent, especially in this fierce world. Because just like you said, there are a lot battling for your child's soul.
Attention.
In fact, not just
Yes,
attention.
yes.
It has gone beyond attention right now. It has gone to a battle for their soul. So you can't afford to be helpless as a mother. So I like when she said that you have the power. I always affirm that to my children.
Oh,
I
yeah.
am the parent.
Oh yeah.
So sometimes I do something.
say
Of
it
course,
all the
you know
time.
Kendrick. Now that one is sharp
Oh,
mouthed.
she has a son that is
So when
just 3.
when he comes and he tells me, "You're not my friend again," I say, "Yes, I was never your friend to start with.
I'm your
I'm
mommy.
your mother." So that's even already brings him back to alignment. Of course,
yeah.
we play another. So whenever he says that I'm your friend, so what that means is that he's pushing your boundary, trying to see if as his friend you will allow him get away with it.
Yeah.
So at that point in time, even though I can be friendly with you, I also take the opportunity to reaffirm, I am not your friend. I was never your friend to start with. Then I tell him, you see all those your friends you
Start
call in school.
mentioning their
I start
friends.
mentioning all of them that he calls in school. I said, those are your friends. I am your mother. So I think helplessness is a character you need to unlearn, either as a mother or as a father. In this generation, my children have very limited screen time. It wasn't a decision I took deliberately, but eventually I saw the benefits and it became a deliberate decision. So right now, I am happy with the amount of screen they are exposed to. It is almost non-existent. So just take charge of your home. Your family is your primary assignment. You see the way that there's this movie I watched. The guy is a security guard. So I think his boss told him, don't allow anybody come in here. And one guy came with, the convoy and everything. I was trying to get him. He told him, Oga, you see outside, you feel past me. But you see for here, na me dey in charge.
territory.
You understand?
Exactly.
So this is my home. I am in charge. Outside, you can do anything. But I want to so prove my child in the house that when the child goes outside, even your influence has nothing on him.
Yes.
Okay. So
Do you understand?
Sumi, in fact, I don't know. So as I'm listening to you, Sumi, and then I remember what Mrs. Ada said, something resonates deeply. So I was raised by my grandma, my maternal grandmother. So like you, my mother was not in the picture as such. But this is one thing I can remember. My grandma had my time.
Exactly.
She was presently present in the presence of my life, if there's any way I can put it.
Yeah.
And there's something I also remember. As I grew up, my grandma's opinion was final. My grandma's, whatever, her approval for me was golden. I wanted to do things to make her happy. It was when I became a teenager, I told my grandma for the first time, I love you. But I was very aware that she loved me. This is what I mean. She didn't say I love you. It's not something she said, but it's something I knew. She's an African. It's something I knew. I remember that I couldn't tell a lie. Not because I can't, but I can't. I can't lie to her. I couldn't go to certain places. I couldn't do certain... I remember coming out from a secondary school where... So in my secondary school, we wore mufti on Fridays. You know that kind of plain thing? Where on Thursdays you can loosen your hair, and then on Fridays we come in mufti. So that kind of a setting. Life was pretty leisure. And I remember a friend saying, this girl came out from that school and they never touch her. In my mind, I'm like, it's like you don't know my grandma. And it's not because I was scared. It's that woman loved me. Like me and her were like this. So somebody later told me that, Zoe, do you know that you talk about your grandma all the time? Like almost in every time I talk, I don't mean it. It just comes. Like my grandma said, like my grandma did. Like
She was a major influence. I hope you know
that
now.
is the thing. So
She's a
I
major
think like it's like
influence.
when I'm listening to you, I'm realizing that okay, so that's what that woman did.
Oh, yeah.
She couldn't beat me because I mean she had become frail. I was getting stronger, but she had a hold on me because she made me know that see, the part of why I'm alive right now is to just give you everything that I am. Me, I will go, but you still be here. So I feel like if there's anything you've gotten so far, Afrimom, number one is that the world may get, I don't like to use this word, but the world may get more and more insane, more and more absurd. There may be more and more fractured people who are in the spotlight, but your daughter does not have to be influenced by them. Why? You are her mother. Stand in your place and be present. Also know that this question of, okay, I'm going to ask this question. I think I will ask Mrs.
We have a
Ada.
question
We have a
online.
question. Oh, awesome.
Okay.
Yeah, so I guess okay, that's our caller, Mrs. Iyabode Adepoju. So she said, what about the parents that are bad influence on their children? Should they still talk to them?
Oh.
Should I answer that?
Yes.
It sounded like it's your call.
Oh my god.
Just collect it first.
Wait, are they aware they are bad influences?
That's the thing.
Or is you that is an observer? No, let's answer the questions on our behalf since we can't ask her. So answer on the two sides.
Okay, I'll answer. So if they are aware
That they are bad, and should they still influence their child? And then if they are not even aware that they are bad, is the observer that thinks they are a bad influence, should they go ahead and influence the child?
Okay. If they are not, you know, a lot of the times our parents are not aware of a lot of things that they do. They are not aware. A lot of the time, they don't think that what they are doing is wrong. They don't think that when they exert some certain kind of pressure on you or give some certain type of instruction, they don't think is bad. Now, a mom can be very, what's the word? What's that word now? You know, when your life is just easy, your life you trust, you like, you know, and you know, and then she doesn't see anything wrong with that. So she doesn't see anything wrong with sending her child to, go to that neighbor's house, not knowing that you're sending your child into the lion's den. So it may, I mean, a lot of the time when it's that way, then I think external help or external influence is needed for this. So if the child has somebody, an auntie, an uncle, that they know that they can talk to, and in this case, it only has to be if the child is older, because if it's a younger child now, they are helpless, they can't do anything, nothing they can do. So if the child is older, of course, yes, they can step out and say, oh, auntie, uncle, can you please come and... by the way, I've had issues like this, you know. I'll give the example. So I'm a Sunday school teacher in my church, and I have this particular Sunday school child, she's a teenager, she and her younger brother. The brother is an only son. He has 4 sisters. There are 4 girls, only son. So play the scenario in your head, how pampered that boy will be. He's the last child. And so she came to me saying, oh, sometimes when he's angry, he will just even pick up knife and come and meet me and start, waving it at me. Yeah. And there were a whole lot of other complaints, but this particular one I can remember very well. So I said to her, I said, oh my God, does your parents know that he does these things? And she was like, yeah. And then she was the one who now said, Auntie Ada, please, can you come to my house and talk to my mommy? Now that's her stepping out. I think she's 15 or 14. I can't remember her age. But no, so that's, I think that's what, this answer is tending to that question. She was like, oh, can you? And I was like, okay, you know what? Yes, I'll call your mom and see how we can fix a meeting so we can talk. So yes, if the parents are, because in this case now, she actually told me that her mom actually allows the boy, even when I report him to mommy, she doesn't do anything. So that's the mom and dad being a bad influence. And so that's her stepping out and saying, please come and help me, because I can't do anything. I'm their child. Even if I talk, they won't think he's doing anything wrong. So yes, if the parent is a bad influence, yes, external help should be gotten. Yes.
So if the child is a minor and the child does not even know that this direction my parents are pulling me,
It go hard though, because I like to mind my business, but but I think that not all mind your business is good mind your business. You should talk. I think that if any adult who is listening, if you have that kind of situation around you, I think that you should speak up. I had a personal experience like this in 2020. I had a neighbor who was always beating her house help. The boy wasn't, he was about maybe 7 or 8 years old, but every day I used to hear scream. Every day. And when my husband comes from work, because I work from home, so I used to hear these things. The boy crying, beat, bah, bah, I would hear from across my fence. And when my husband would come back, I would say, hey, this woman almost killed this boy today. So it was an everyday reporting. I would tell my husband, and my husband would leave them alone. That woman's husband looks like he has a lot of money. I don't want problem more. And we know these things in Nigeria, how it can be, how people of influence can cover things when it involves them. But, my husband doesn't know. Sorry, husband, I know you're listening. I reported her to the DSVA people on Twitter. I found their handle. I sent them a message. I'm like, don't tell her it's me, oh. Don't tell her it's me, but this is what I always hear. And I don't know if they ever summoned her or whatever, But I put in her address there. And I did not know her name, but I put the address. I said, I don't know her name. I don't talk to her, but come and investigate. I don't like that this thing happens every day. So, yeah, so you should step in as an adult. If it's something you see, you can just calmly, quietly call the parents, in this case, I couldn't do that because I couldn't openly go and confront her because my husband had warned me, So that was why I went the other route. But if it's something that you can quietly, conveniently, peacefully talk to the parents and say, oh, I think that you can do it like this. I think that it should be done like, oh, have you seen that your child is this? What do you think? I want to think that the child would have already come to you. In some case, in the cases where the child has come to you, then you will find a way to play it out to the parents, So yeah.
Two questions come to mind.
Okay.
So some mothers say, how do you people do this thing? You're really trying, you're really present for your children, but you see me, my hands are tied, I'm very busy. So you are doing well, I can see that you are doing well. So why are you laughing? You are really trying, but me like this, I'm very busy.
What should she do?
Yes.
If she's very busy?
Yes. She's working.
That one is hard to answer. That one is hard to answer because, and this is why I say it's hard to answer. Okay. And I don't want to sound selfish. I speak from a place of privilege, not of selfishness. So, before I became a mom, I had already said to myself that I want to do, again, this had stemmed up from my background. So I knew that I want to be a present mom. I had always known. So I had said, God, whenever this mommy thing comes up, I want to be in that role. I want to fully immerse myself in it. So I took steps. So this is me taking steps. I got married in 2020. I had taken the steps before 2020. I had said, what can I do? What will I do to be present? how can I be present? I know that by doing a 9 to 5, I can't be present. Again, I'm
Say
not
that
trying
again.
to.
Do you
I'm,
say can't? I'm sorry.
yes, I said can't because you are in the office 9 to 5. You know, by the time you get home, we're in Lagos, so let's be real. Traffic, like by the time you get home, you know that you've spent how many hours in traffic. Your child must have gone to bed by the time you get home. So you don't know what happened to that child between those hours. Do you understand what I mean? These were the thoughts that were going through my own head as a single woman. No. Shout out to every 9 to 5 mom that's trying to make it work, that is doing the most and doing their best. Your best is enough, you know. Your best is enough, actually. I'm not downplaying you. But I'm just speaking my own experience and how I was able to do mine. And I'm hoping this may inspire a mom. I just told myself that I have to do something that will keep me in the lives of these children, that will make me ever present. What can I do? The only thing that came to my head was you have to build your own business, Ada. You have to do something that you are in that thing, and that thing will also allow you time to be in the lives of your children. At the time, a lot of people didn't know about virtual work. I started working virtually. Jeremy, you're listening. Correct me if I'm wrong. Jeremy is my friend who started working virtual and introduced me to working virtually as well. Jeremy started working virtually in 2017 or so and introduced me as early as at that time. So when I tell people, people think it was COVID that made me start working remote. No, I started doing it way before COVID time. So the first thing I even did was sewing. I'm going to go learn how to sew so that when the kids start coming, I have a business. I'm making my money, I'm doing it. But as I'm there on that machine, they are under the machine.
Exactly.
That's what I told myself. They are under the sewing. They are right there by the sewing machine. I can see them. I can even. Are you there? Yeah, you are there. You know, I know what's going on. So that was me, and by the grace of God, I was able to achieve and do this. So I mean, I've spoken to someone who is a mom who got my number through her daughter. I went to her nanny. I went to her nanny school to speak. One of the things I do, speaking to girls, and she took her number from her nanny, and she told me how she had to move from Lagos to where they were living. I think she said Abeokuta or something, because she wanted to be present with her children. And she said she was a banker at the time. I don't know what she does now, but she said she had to ask them to move her to another state, that because she knows that Lagos she won't be able to, because all the hours she will spend in traffic. But she said to me, she was like, when I moved here, when I close from work at 4:30, 4:45, I'm home. I'm still able to have that time with my children, you know. So, but she had to take that conscious step of moving to another state to be able to accomplish that, you know. So again, not to sound selfish, it may not be possible for some moms, but something can be done. Something can be arranged. Something can be done. So yeah, so that's it.
Okay. Wow. So, first of all, please leave a comment. Let's hear your thoughts. You know, a lot has been said on this episode, a lot has been shared, and all those stuff. So, we want to hear your thoughts. Leave a thought. Don't forget to share this video. And I know some people might be listening and saying, you know, there's this tendency when someone talks, you say, oh, you're possibly talking from a place of privilege. The truth of the matter is, every family is as unique as the individuals involved in it. So no two family dynamics are actually the same. So sit down. If you have decided that this parenting thing is for me, in recent times, it seems there are more people coming out to boldly say, I don't want children. I can't deal with all the stuffs that come with having children. And by all means, I love them for that. Because it's actually an error to bring forth children you don't have plans to parent.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So they have looked at it. Of course, the Bible says that when you want to build a house, you sit down and count the costs. Is this what I can do? Then you go ahead. So for these people, they have probably sat down and they have told myself, this is not something I can do. And by all means, well, nobody is judging them for that. But if you have decided that this is the path I want to take, you now need to sit down and decide what is more important to you. Just like her, there were some decisions I had to make when it came to my career and all those stuff. because of my children. In fact, that I worked in digits at some point. So in case you didn't know, I was one time a digit admin. Was because of my children. Because I like the fact that I close from work 4 o'clock. In the next 15 to 20 minutes, I'm home. The money might not have been so much, but it was enough to me because I placed it side by side with the destiny of my children. What do I need to do? Which is more important? Do I chase all the money and the career, then realize at the end of the road that the destiny of my children that should have come as top priority to me has been destroyed? So just sit down and ask yourself. Nobody's saying you should resign from your job or to sit at home but the thing is, come together with your spouse if you're married and have a conversation. These children, we're not saying you're not doing well enough, but we're saying that whatever it is, just make sure that your children and the future, that's the only way our vision at the A.R.A.L show will come to fruition. That's seeing an Africa where we are proud to say anywhere that we are Africans, where we are proud of the leaders we have, where we are proud of the people that are leading us. So please, we are saying, help make this future that we see a reality by training these children that have been entrusted into your hands. So, over to you, our guest. I have a question, and it's kind of personal to me. So, I grew up, I'm surrounded by men. I like to call myself the original queen of boys because from childhood, I've been surrounded by men. I have 4 brothers. I'm an only daughter. And all my cousins, for some reason, are majorly male. So there's usually this, should I call it pandemic? Because everywhere is men. My uncles, you see a lot of them, 5 boys, 1 girl, 4 boys, 1 girl. So I have so many guys around me. And for some reason, it made me have more of female, as in friends or acquaintances. And to be honest, it might come as a shock to some people. I've had my own fair share of abuse. But I'm happy that they didn't traumatize me to the point where I am, how will I put it, I am destroyed. Let me use that word. But I have my fair share. So the question now is, how does a mother teach her daughter to be able to relate with? Because as much as we say men and all those things, they will have to deal with men.
Oh, yeah.
Do you understand? You can't say, oh, don't avoid men, like what
They
they told
touch
us.
you.
They touch you, you get pregnant. They do this, you get pregnant. So how do you teach your daughters to have healthy relationship with the male folks? How do you teach them to know when they are being exploited? How do you teach them to protect themselves when it seems that the handshake is crossing to elbow? Do you understand? So how do you nip it in the bud? How do you teach your girl child to be assertive to the point that where you know that I am being abused and recognized? Because the truth is, a lot of people are abused, but they don't even realize they are abused.
Yeah.
Because they don't even know what abuse looks like. It seems like it's normal to them. So how do you teach your girl child to recognize these things and be able to stand up for herself? Because the truth is, you can't always be there to protect her, to hawk over her as the mother hen or something. So how do you raise a girl child?
Be
like
open.
that?
Say the words as plain as it is. Don't try to rigmarole it or pamper it. Have the conversations. Begin from the young age. And if as a mom you didn't start from the young age, that's fine. Start from where you are. But have clear-cut, open conversations. Say it as it is. You are the mom. Ask the questions. The daughter, tell her too to ask you questions. Oh, do you have anything to say? Oh, how are you feeling? Just ask the clear-cut questions. Don't try to ask the questions. Have the conversations. My mother never asked me questions while I was growing up. I wish she did, and I know that if she did, I would have been shielded from a lot of things. So don't be afraid to ask those pertinent questions. I promise you, if you don't ask them, the internet will ask them, television will ask them, people
So-
outside will ask them.
So I'm asking, like this person here who says her daughter is 8, what kind of questions should she start asking her daughter?
Oh, I mean, teach them. Like I said, I teach my daughter good touch and bad touch. I say these things to her that you start from every age and every phase comes with a mode of training, like
Yeah.
the specialists will tell you. Every age, every phase, they have their mode. So I want to assume that every parent already knows their child, you know. You know that the menial, you know their character, you know their personality, you can already see it, you can already tell. So from but start from, don't think that she's too small, she doesn't know anything. No. Like I said, my baby girl is 3. We started this thing when she was 2, you know. So she knows these things, and I'm sure that it's sticking somewhere in her subconscious. So I mean, there was something that I started doing with my son when he was about 18 months. I started having him watch Chinese videos on YouTube. And so there was something my husband sent to me one day. I was complaining to him. I said, anytime I put this thing for this boy, he will watch it though. But after a few minutes, he will just move on to the next thing. And my husband said to me, continue. Somewhere in his subconscious, it is there. And I was like, what? He just said hello in Chinese. My husband was at home that day and he was laughing. So, you know, somewhere in their subconscious is there. So don't think that they are too young to know these things. So you start, and it helps when you even start it when they are young, because from that young age, they get more comfortable with you, and you also get more comfortable with them. Yeah. It's a two-way thing, no? Because forget, we are, even as parents, we have emotions. We can be shy too.
No, yes,
We can be shy,
Yeah.
you know. So there are some things that, but the earlier you start, the more open and drawn you are to your children. So you can actually, you know.
So I want to tie it to the question Somi asked you.
Yeah.
Somi said that how can we teach our girls to relate with boys? So in practical terms, referring to that lady who our caller in, Mrs. Adekpoju, who says her daughter is 8, how can you in practical terms begin to teach that 8-year-old girl how to relate with boys, you know, very clear-mindedly, you know, very how do I put it now? The word is not clear-minded, like with a lot of assertiveness. She knows who she is and she can relate with you. You can be her friend. You are a male and she's not, and nobody's going to, you know, take advantage of her. What kind of conversations should she be having? Just 1 or 2 practical questions, conversations she should be having because of that goal.
Okay. First of all, you too as a mom, how do you also relate to the men in your lives? You know, let's start from there. So from there, I believe that everyone should be treated with respect, kindness. But well, there are 2 genders. I'm sorry to every other gender out there. No offense.
We're coming there.
Okay. I'm sorry. Okay. But yeah, so we know this gender. There's my daughter is always saying that thing. Mommy, I'm a girl and Karachi is a boy.
Yeah.
The assertiveness is there. So she will get to the age where I will start to have some certain, the conversations will graduate to another level. Like I said earlier, you know, the phases, the ages, it comes with the different types of conversations. But don't be shy to have these conversations. An 8-year-old, and I don't think an 8-year-old has started menstruating, has she? No.
I think there are some of them who
Is she having crushes at 8? Is she having
Yeah,
crushes?
so I said, Jesus. I think I started having crushes at 6 or 5.
What?
Don't go there. Yeah, so one of my earliest crush, yes, was Robin Hood. Please, if you were in the 90s and you used to watch that Robin Hood, that guy, I can't remember his name. He was my crush, yo. And I was like, what? 5 or 6? He was a white man. I mean, I crushed.
So now small remain for Mario Igbo.
So yeah, I mean, that's why I said start early.
Early,
Start early. No age is too young. And like I said, an 8-year-old, mommy, if you don't know the right conversations to have with an 8-year-old, thank God for the internet. You can just Google, what should I say to my 8-year-old? It will come up. Read through those articles and filter it. If you are, I'm blessed to be surrounded by a great community of women that I also can, you know, I draw from. If you have that community of women, also draw from them. Oh, what did you do when Kendrick was 4? What did you do? You know, Karachi is, and I don't know what to do, you know, and just draw, you know, draw from anywhere. But those conversations must be had, and they must be had by you, not a mentor, not No, not a teacher, not a guidance and counselor person. You first before those
Okay.
people. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm laughing at some of the comments in the comment section. So Oluwadike Okechukwu said Afri moms have power actually, even more than Odumeje. So I guess
Is that yours?
My brother.
so yeah, and
We've got the
Mrs.
powers.
Oreofe Ogunubi, she said, much as I agree with monitoring and censoring what our children watch, we should guard against restrictions without explanations and engagement.
Have the conversations.
The
Yes.
curious nature of children can make them search for what they were being restricted from when they find themselves away from their parents' influence.
You see why I say sorry to cause you see why I say you should be the one to have that conversation.
Yeah.
I learned about sex from reading dictionary.
Ah wow.
I just saw the word. I was looking for something
My
else.
own is if man touch you, it will
You go
go.
get belly.
Me, they never even told me. The first time I saw menstruation, I thought I had cancer. I'm not joking. I thought I was going to die. I'm going to die. I'm going to die.
And she said supervised access to internet is more realistic than taking away totally because they can have access in other places. That's
True.
so
I agree.
true.
I agree.
That's so true.
I agree.
So yes, so like we said, the thing is decide for yourself. And I also think these conversations should be age appropriate.
Yes.
So there should be a certain age that my children, I can't to an extent limit how much access they have, because if they don't have it from home, they might go to school, their friends have it and all those stuff. But like she said, have those conversations. If your child is restricted from something, explain why it is like that.
Yes.
So thank you so much, Ma, for this contribution.
Balanced, yeah.
Yeah, it's brought a balance to our discussion today. So yes, so we're tying it up.
We're tying it up with this, please. So there's something you do. Project pad it up.
Yes.
So
Project
allow
pad it
us to take back a bit and say, so for instance, Somi talked about how she was raised. I've spoken a bit about how I was raised, and you have mentioned as well. But I think that a few things that we can see in common is that while we had people who loved us and some of us paid attention to us and spent time with us, they weren't really talking about sexuality. They seemed not to be talking about it. Perhaps they were shy. Like I'm very honest. In fact, when I started developing breast, I was like, what's going on? Like, am I sick? It never occurred to me. I was just a very happy-go-lucky child. And you know, all the adults were just adults. It felt like that's how they were made. Me, I was made like this. You know, then why is there blood and all of that? So Project Pad It Up. What do you do? How do you advocate for mothers introducing this subject of menstruation? So is it too early for this mother of 8 to talk about menstruation to her child? What should she be telling this child at this time? Then tie it up to the spike or this what's it called now, this menace of homosexuality. What do we say to our daughters when it is a girl giving her a bad touch? So please, all of it, pot period.
First of all, your child should be encouraged to know their gender. That's the first thing. One of the things, it's an affirmation I always say to my children is, no man will dissuade my children from who they are. They are hidden in Christ. So what I'm trying to say is, nobody will come and tell my son that he was born in a girl's body or whatever, and vice versa. Nobody will say, you know. So I always say that, and I know that as time goes on, the conversation will change. It will flow into another phase where they can say, oh mommy, why this and why that, you know. So Project Party Top is a project that is very, very dear to my heart. I think one of the reasons why it's dear to my heart is because of the need that it meets. I know that where we're from, it's a world thing. It's not just even in Africa or in Nigeria. There are always people who are in need. There are girls who don't have access to pads. There are girls who don't have access to any type of menstrual product. You know, it's not just pads, because we have different types now. Tampons, cups, and all of that. So there are girls who know next to nothing about how to even use it. And so that was why that project came up. We were padding one girl at a time. You know, we're trying to you know, make them have express access to these things. So one of the things that we do, even after we give the hygiene talk, where we tell them, we have conversations around, because there's a stigma. People think that it's not healthy to have conversations about menstruation, which is why, you know, there was a question you asked that, how can an 8-year-old, can you have this conversation? Um, I'm not sure if there are 8-year-olds now that have already started, but if you don't even have an 8-year-old that has started, you can, you know, slide in the conversation somewhere when you are, you know, speaking with your daughter. Yes, you can raise it up. You can say, oh, at some point in your life, oh, this will these changes will occur, and this will happen, and this and that and that and that, you know. So yeah, so it's a must-have conversation. Don't allow, like she said in the past, it was common when they would just tell you, you start seeing blood. Once they touch you, that's it, or you're pregnant. No, it shouldn't end there. Explain. Like, don't be that. Those are what our mothers used to say. That was how they told them, and that was it just got passed on like that. So we go as far as telling these girls, we explain everything in context. Oh, your sexuality is this. Oh, the sexuality of the man is this. I mean, thankfully, we only Prayer Party Talk only deals with girls only, you know. So even when I go to a mixed school, we only always arrange for the talk to have the talk with girls and girls only. So we have this conversation. We have them ask anonymous questions, deep anonymous questions. Yes, we don't put your name, don't put your class. Just write it and send it, you know, forward. We read it out. So, and these girls want to know. You'll be surprised at how much they even already know. They just want to confirm. We get a lot of questions, and we're like, I'm reading it out and I'm like, hey, okay, oh God, I beg, in my mind, you know. You'll be surprised. And they know these things from different places and from different people. And it's the environment, is where they find themselves. Your children know these things. But it's healthier when they know it from you. No matter what they got from the outside, it is always better when they have heard it first from you. They know it firsthand from, oh, my mom said, oh, my dad said, you know, oh, yeah, I've heard about it. My mom has told me, oh, yeah, my dad has mentioned this, that kind of thing, you know. So, because like you said, there are dads who are raising girls too as well. So, they're doing it alone. So, have these conversations. My father was shy. I'm pretty sure, God rest his soul, that was why he didn't have any of those conversations with me, because he raised us alone. None of those conversations were had. So I'm sure he was shy. Yeah, because I mean, the exposure that we have now as parents, we have more power, whether we like it or not. We have more power than our parents had, than their parents had, and so
What
it's
do you
in
mean by more power?
knowledge is
Okay,
power.
okay.
So we have more exposure. Let me use it. Let me use that word, than they did. So maybe not all of them. Maybe not all of them. You know, shout out to grandmommies and granddaddies that did a wonderful job. Maybe not all of them, but the larger of the boomer society, we have millennials, Gen Zs. We have more exposures than they had. So we can conquer. We should wield our power. You know, I know you're tired, mommy. I know it's not easy, but wield your power. You can do it. You can. So yeah.
All right. It's been an interesting conversation, and we could go on and on and on and on and on and on and on, but we have reached the end of the show.
Yeah. We didn't miss any question, right? We didn't miss anything.
so.
We
But
didn't-
of
okay.
course, the conversation continues in the comment section. So if you have any question, our guest is still available. We can always forward it to her, and she would hopefully do justice to your questions.
Yes,
but
please.
this is where we call it a day on today's episode of the A.R.A.L show. So we want to say thank you again, Mrs. Ada, for honoring our invitation. It's
Zoe,
been
thank
a
you so
long
much for
time
having me.
coming.
Yes.
Because
the message is it has been flying up and down since
she
last
should have
year.
been one of our earliest
Yeah.
guests, But then, what they say. Don't worry, I don't know what they said.
I was really waiting for what they
waiting for
say.
what they say, oh.
I was waiting.
I got Zoe there. But what I mean is, it's interesting having her now, because we had, a very good conversation. And like I said, it was beginning to look like, is this A.R.A.L show geared towards the boys? Because like I said, we've had countless conversations around the boy child, and it's refreshing to see someone here talk about the girl child. But at the end of the day, the African child is our priority. Be it male, be it female. The African child is our priority. So we're saying raise your children right. Pay the price. Parenting comes at a cost. We can't deny that. Everybody, you know, when Jesus said, take up your cross and follow me, parenting is one of those things where you have to take up your cross daily and do this job that God has entrusted into your hands. So this is where we call it a day. Of course, I am Chisom Ukachukwu, and this show from inception has been produced and sponsored by Digit 1024 Media for all things sound, media production, lighting, you know, everything audio visual production. Digit is your go-to, and you can reach them on 080-9573-3330. I'll take that again, 080-9573-3330. And of course, they are across all social media platforms at Digit 1024 Media. Yes, also the A.R.A.L show is also available on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, all the social media network at the A.R.A.L show. So do well to follow us, and don't forget, subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and share this video to someone. So over to you, Zoe.
Thank you so very much, Somi. And thank you everyone who has stayed throughout. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for calling in. Thank you so very much, Mrs. Ada, for coming here. Remember that we are raising the next generation of African leaders, one child at a time. So, Mrs. Ada, do you have any final 1 minute word to say?
1 minute?
Yes,
1
please.
minute.
Yes.
It must be 1 minute.
Or less.
Or less.
Okay, shout out to every parent out there. It's not
Yeah.
easy, but like Somi said, it's the cross you have taken up. So no child should be left behind. I'm passionate about the girl child, yes, but no child should be left behind. Moms, dads, please raise your sons to be better. Please raise them to treat women right. Please teach them to cook and clean. I beg, please. Please, cooking and cleaning is not only for the girls.
Yeah.
Please, let's do that. And also speak to your children. Please talk to them. The more we have these conversations, the more the conversations are lighter, and the more the weight is off of the shoulders of your children, actually, because these children are burdened with so many questions. Like one of the commenters said, curiosity. So the more you have these conversations, the more you lessen that burden of curiosity from them. Yeah, so that's it. Support Project Paddy Top.
Yes, please.
Support us, follow us at Project Paddy Top on Instagram, on Facebook. Partner with us if you want. You can reach out. You know, we move around, going to school by school to talk to girls, to give them pads. So give a girl a pad, not a hug. Thank you.
Wow, nice.
So you heard it.
Okay.
Give us a pad.
Yes, not a
Not
hug.
a hug.
Yes.
But me, I want to give you a hug now.
No.
Thank you so much for
Thank
coming.
you for coming.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you. Yes, so till we come your way next time, don't forget to tell the world that
Africa is coming.
Can I talk?
I like the way she talks. So theatrical. Please, can we have pictures with you? I'm so sorry about